Hey y'all, I'm back. Welcome to another What Else is Going On podcast, YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. So let's get into some things before I go and then take my notes for Salt Lake City and Beverly Hills. First up, can we talk about Miss Sunny Hostin? I wanted to come to y'all with this video yesterday, but I was just wiped out. I took today off, but I'm back, like I never left. So let's get into it. This is according to page 6. The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband accused of federal insurance fraud. Ooh, 2025, the people's is getting exposed. According to a suit obtained by Page 6 and first reported by the Daily Mail, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influence and corrupt organizations, RICO, cases ever filed in New York. My gosh. In the lawsuit, Emmanuel, who was listed as Emmanuel Hostin, MD, was accused of federal insurance fraud and getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. Say what now? Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries. The lawsuit filed on December 17th, 2024 reads, per the docs, insurance firm American Transit was then billed in exchange for kickbacks and or other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. The doctor addressed the allegations via a statement through his attorney, I'm sorry, y'all. The doctor addressed the allegations via a statement through his attorney, Daniel John Waits, telling Daily Mail that his client denies each and every allegation, and the lawsuit is a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near bankrupt insurance carrier. It is meant to intimidate and harass doctors from collecting for care given to American Transit insureds and their passengers. The lawyer said Emmanuel has an impeccable record and that American Transit has rushed into the lawsuit without ever conducting an examination of Dr. Hostin or expressing any concerns to his lawyers. Waits continued, the real story here is about an insurance carrier abusing the legal system to limit and restrict healthcare benefits to its insured and their passengers and write off its proper obligations. American Transit is seeking at least 450 million in damages. An attorney for the company told the outlet, no fault fraud is a huge problem in New York. American Transit filed a lawsuit as part of its statutory responsibility to fight such fraud. Page 6 has reached out to Emmanuel's legal team and reps for Sunny, but did not immediately hear back. Okay, so they're saying that he did surgeries that weren't really needed, billed the company, and got kickbacks. His lawyer is saying that's not true. It's a blanket lawsuit, I guess, including just these doctors. They didn't do a thorough examination, and it's meritless, and that the insurance carrier is near bankrupt. And basically, I guess, trying to insinuate that they don't want to pay out the claims. Baby, 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 baby. Sonny, what's going on? Is y'all gonna talk about this? Now I'm talking about this on Thursday, January 9th. Maybe they talked about it this morning, child. I don't know. Y'all let me know. He better hope that he is innocent. He better, because if not, this is a RICO case. 200 people. Is that what they said? 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influence and corrupt organizations. I watched this show. I think it was on BET or BET Plus, called Saints and Sinners. There was a book series originally by Eric Drum Dickey, I believe. No, Carl, or was it Carl Weber? One of them, child. If y'all watched it, let me know. Don't judge me. But in Saints and Sinners, there was a pastor and his daughter was a doctor, and they were in an insurance scheme like that. I don't know why, it just made me think about it. But, that stuff does go on in real life. This is just, y'all, it's 2025. People is talking from the top. Now, I do wonder how this case is going to turn out. It was filed in December. The insurance company, again, is alleging that it's a real case. What I wanted to say, yes, Sonny Hostin's husband's lawyer said American Transit has rushed into the lawsuit without ever conducting an examination of Dr. Hostin or expressing any concerns to his lawyers. Child, we shall see. I hope he's innocent, honey. I meant to say, I hope he's innocent, Sonny. How honey came out, I don't know. Let's get into everything going on with Stephen Twitch Boss, the family, his ex-wife, his mother's now speaking out, friends and family have spoken out. So I was just watching how everything played out over the last couple of days and debating on whether or not I was going to speak on it, because when the story first initially came out and the wife coming out speaking about it, I was kind of had, I don't know if you would say conflicting thoughts, but thoughts on either side. Thoughts on her side and thoughts on the side of the people coming out to speak. Then as more and more information come out, it's like, oh my gosh, like this story is it's taken over. So I said I was going to go ahead and speak on it. So let's get into it. Now, when I get into like the tweets and different things of the family coming speaking out, they may be out of order, but it's his family speaking out. So first, let's get into it. So this is according to Entertainment Weekly. Stephen Twitch Boss's family and friends call out widow Allison Halker over tell-all memoir. All right, let's get into this. So she did an interview with People in support of his wife. I'm sorry, Allison Halker, the wife of Twitch, the widow of Twitch, came out and did an interview with People in support of her forthcoming memoir, This Far, which is out February 4th. In the book, she claims that Boss, who took his own life at 40 in December of 2022, had a hidden cornucopia of drugs, including mushrooms, pills, and other substances she had to look up inside his shoeboxes, which she found after his passing. She says, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. It was a really triggering moment for me because there were a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. It was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue about. It was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out, but it also helped me process that he was going through so much and he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. So that comes out. She says that in her interview to People. Talks about going in to look for, again, just to recap, her and her friend were in his closet looking for an outfit for him to wear for his funeral. She comes across this box. She calls it a cornucopia of drugs, some of which she didn't even know what they were and had to look up. She said it was triggering, and that she found out a lot of things that she didn't know what was going on. So a family friend named Courtney Ann Platt came out, and this is what she said. She shared a picture. I'm going to show y'all real quick. I just want to show y'all the picture that she shared. You may have already seen it, but again, y'all know, as I say, I want to talk about this with y'all as a family. So this is the picture she shared. Friend Courtney Platt, and this is the picture. She shared the picture of Twitch's widow's picture interview with People. All right. So we're going to get into what her caption was on that picture. It was a lengthy caption. She says, y'all, I forgot I had put this on. Well, I can read from here. Anyone who knows me knows I go straight to source during I'm going to read it how it's written. Anyone who knows me knows I go straight to source during a conflict and handle my business. But since there's clearly no shame in being so public, I haven't said a word in 2 years, but here I go. I was there the moment you both connected. I was there the day you got engaged. I stood by your side on your wedding day. I was in your home the day he died. I was by your side because your husband was my family. It didn't matter how often we spoke, how often we saw each other. We were We were bonded. And then the Roman numeral 4, and then ever. This is by far the most tacky, classless, opportunistic act I have ever seen in my entire life. We all had to sign some weird NDA to attend his funeral, even his own mother, who you've treated like garbage this entire time. And let's just remember, you wouldn't have even had a husband if it wasn't for her. Not to share anything or ruin his name, as if that was on anyone's mind in the first place. And here you go and write a book with all the dirty laundry smearing his name and attempting to dim the bright, loyal, loving light that was your husband, my friend. Whether any of it is true or not is actually beside the point. This is how you protect the boss name you so quickly dropped on your social media platforms 48 hours after he passed, his legacy. This is how you protect his children from any further humiliation, hurt, or despair. This is what you want them to remember about him. You have moved on. You're living your life. You're on every carpet you can get on, every celebrity road you can sit in, every magazine you can be in, and you need it to do this. Get a journal, a therapist, a friend, but publishing a book shamelessly, sharing the pages of your husband's journal, People magazine, what a joke. Yes, he took his own life, which is a fact all of us still can't fathom. And he was clearly having mental health issues, hurting so deeply. And this is your example of empathy, of your love. The smear campaign for a buck is absolutely not what he would have ever wanted. No matter how bad he was hurting, not for a second. You're a living, breathing bulldozer. Stick to your own demons. Shame on you, Allison. Shame on your money hungry team. Let my friend rest in peace, not your PR. I wanted to get into some comments, but I think, let's see. Oh, the comments are off. Okay, so that's what she said. Uh, then you have Boss's brother, Dre Rose, shared a snap, a picture snap of what Miss Platt, what I just read, posted on his Instagram stories with the caption, "No lies told." While he hasn't shared a post of his own, Rose has also reposted many other similar stories from others slamming the memoir and its claims. When reached by Entertainment Weekly at this particular time, which I believe was yesterday, a rep for Holker declined to comment, but in her interview with People, she told the outlet that she was sharing the stories in hopes of helping others. Someone commented on Allison's post on Instagram, "This whole thing made me sad. He's gone. Why tear apart this name? I was fully supportive about you moving in and being happy, but this paycheck was not worth disgracing his name." She responded, "I'll always love you." Now, I don't know who the person is. It's blurred out. She responded, "I'll always love you. Just trying to help people feel safe to ask for help and support." They respond back, "I love you too. It's so hard to hear and imagine. It's so hard to hear, and I can't imagine. Let me go back. I love you too. It's so hard to hear. And I imagine it can't be easy going through what you've been through. There will be a lot of hate thrown your way, but it's not for me to judge, splice a difficult situation. It's just so hard to digest. I can't imagine how you feel. So I apologize for jumping to conclusions. She also said it was really hard to, this is what Allison said, "It was really hard to pull all the pieces together through certain discussions, even with friends and things that have been said, reading through his journals. You realize he went through a lot as a child and never faced it. It's hard to think that he never opened up to someone and wanted to face it to get through to the other side. I really hope people dealing with the same thing will help themselves out of the shadows and know you're going to be okay." On Tuesday, Hawker shared the People interview on her own Instagram stories, as well as several messages in support of it. In one, actress and dancer Jenna Dewan, who used to be married to Channing Tatum, said, "Love you at Allison Hawker, and sharing this will help others reach out for help." So she shared that in her interview with People. The fact that she found some of his journals, she found a shoebox full of a cornucopia of drugs, she says, some of which she didn't know. And then I believe she also said she found out something that had happened to him as a child. I think sexual abuse, maybe. I'm pretty sure I don't want to just throw that out there, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the things she said that happened to him as a child. So then let's get into some other things. Different people were speaking out. I believe his cousin came out, did a video calling her out. Other people have come out and said, basically, you, I thought I had it all, but I don't. You were on drugs yourself. Speak about your own thing. Why are you tarnishing his name? Why are you talking about him? Blah, blah, blah. Like people are really upset. So she has since come out because of the backlash. And this is a statement that she released. To the fans of Stephen and our family and friends, I want to be clear that my only intention in writing the book is to share my own story as well as part of my life with Stephen to help other people. Just like you, I never really knew what happened. And even as I'm trying to put the pieces together, I will never really know. If you decide to read the book, hopefully you'll see my intention is to celebrate the love and life I share with Stephen and our three beautiful children, and also the more complex aspects of both of our lives. I hope that by sharing our full story, maybe I can help someone else who might see themselves or a loved one in Stephen. In sharing, I hope that maybe they can catch some of the red flags that I missed before it's too late. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've spoken in detail with NAMI, which is, I think, the National Alliance for Mental Health Institution, I think. Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure because I did a walk for them one time. National Alliance on Mental Illness. Yes. So she said she spoke. I lost my place. Okay. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've spoken in detail with NAMI as well as the Solomon family and the Defensive Line Foundation to better educate myself on mental health issues so that I can share warning signs with others. All of my proceeds from this book, say that again. All of my proceeds from this book are going to fund the mental health focused foundation I started in Stephen's honor. Move with kindness. My hope is that we don't need to lose another husband, brother, father, or friend to unaliving. I'll say that, but she used the other word. I believe that if Stephen were able to choose, he would choose to have his story told if it meant saving even one life. Much love to all those who have supported our family these many years. Now, somebody commented on that post and says she's claiming she knew nothing about his addiction and was blindsided. The toxicity, I think they meant toxicology screening showed he was clean, but she's now calling him an addict. So, what is this based on? Mm, mm, mm. That's a fair point. Someone says, I'm trying to figure out why she's saying he's an addict. I'm not saying she did or didn't find anything, but how did she come to that conclusion? She should have just not done it. 2 years is too soon, in my opinion. Somebody else said a true addict would have had it in their system before committing, even if the reason wasn't OD. That is a very interesting point. She says she found this box full of drugs. I keep using the word cornucopia because that's what she said, full of drugs. But yet his toxology screening showed that he didn't have any drugs in his system. That is a very fair point. It's been a lot. Other people have come out and said, you haven't even let us see your kids. We're just starting to see them again. And there's been a lot. I wanted to, there was another one I wanted. But anyway, as you can imagine, family is upset. So his mother has come out and spoke today. Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and pull that up. His mother, this is according to today. So on Instagram, she's Lady C Alexa. Our family is absolutely appalled by the misleading and hurtful claims made about my son, Stephen Boss. The recent publications spreading untruths about Stephen have crossed every line of decency. As his mother, I will not let these accusations go unanswered. We will not stand by while his name and legacy are tarnished. He doesn't deserve this, and the kids don't deserve this. For the last 2 years, I have remained quiet and away from the public eye to protect my family. My primary focus has been on healing and attempting to remain connected to my grandchildren. But when I read these dreadful claims about my baby, our beloved Stephen, I realize I could not stay silent any longer. Our family will ensure his name and memory are protected, and we are committed to defending his honor. Connie Boss Alexander. Hashtag stand for Stephen. Hashtag Boss Family United. Hashtag SLB. Hashtag LLSLB. Oh, this is, I say it's hard. You know, they talked about having to sign an NDA when they went to his funeral. Now, I'm going to say this. When you listen to that and hear somebody had someone sign an NDA, I've never been to a funeral where I've had to sign an NDA, right? And I'm sure a lot of you watching may not have either. I get why celebrities would do that. They don't want anybody taking pictures. They don't want to read about the funeral down to how the deceased was dressed and the goings on at the funeral. So they want to make sure everyone knows you can't speak about, like, to protect the integrity of this individual's funeral. Everybody needs to sign an NDA. Granted, I know you're thinking his mom. In this scenario, because she's the wife, I guess she has the final say for whatever reason. She felt like she had to have his mom sign an NDA. And then 2 years later, she comes out with a book. On the one hand, it could appear that she was just trying to be like, you know what? Just across the board, I'm just going to have everybody that attends, no matter who it is, sign one, because I truly want to protect the integrity of this funeral. On the other hand, it could seem like you're the only one that wanted to be able to freely speak about what happened to him. And whether she feels like maybe that's her right because she's the wife, I'm not speaking on that. I'm just saying maybe these are thoughts that were going on in her head. But what it looks like on the other side of that, again, is you wanted to be the only one that would be able to speak about and possibly earn money by speaking about it. And I want to be very sensitive in how I handle this or what I say. There was a part yesterday when it came out, she was talking that, of course, I was like, why would she come out and say all this stuff now? Right? His kids, friends, family have to hear this. The world, because the world has a perception of who this man is. However, she is his wife, and I truly believe you don't know somebody unless you live with them. Even your own family. When you are living with someone day in and day out, your family may know you, but I don't believe they know you the way your partner, your spouse knows you. So there is a chance that she knew things about him that his family didn't know. One of the friends had spoke out and basically said, he came to me with the problems about you and I convinced him to try to work it out with you. That could very well maybe be true. He could have vented to his friend while at the same time showing her something different at home, right? Because again, I truly believe you don't know somebody until you live with the person. So all of that could be true, which is why this could just get so muddy and dirty because they have their perspective and the Stephen they knew. She has the Stephen that she knew. Whether she's lying or not, we don't know. So there was a part of me that when she said she was coming out with the story so people can spot the signs, I felt like this is a good thing. Maybe there are family members that may be struggling with other family members or a spouse or a partner. And maybe this book could help save a life. And if that's the true intent, there's a part of me that gets it. And then, of course, there's the other part, which is why this isn't just completely black and white for me, because this is the other part that's like, some of the stuff you're putting in here, did you have to? Then there's another part. She's saying she's telling her story, and people are like, well, that's not your story, that's his story. But if she lived with him in that, that is her story. If she experienced that with him, that is her story. Now, we got to go back to the toxicology report saying that He didn't have any drugs in his system. I would think an addict would have had drugs in his system, right? So then it would be a little bit not easier, but for lack of a better word, easier to digest her saying, I'm telling my story, my experience with him, because it is hers. Then there's the other part of me that's like, when someone is at the place of unaliving themselves, that is serious. And they may not be clearly in a rational space. However, she's saying she found his journal. So that means he was aware of some mental health things that he was trying to deal with. And my question is, did he decide to seek help outside of just journaling? And possibly, because we don't know, again, toxicology report came back clean. Keep saying that. Possibly for her medicating himself and fighting these issues. Because I wonder if he did not seek help, does that mean he didn't do all that he could do before taking that step? And then if that's the case, it's like people are upset that she's speaking out. People want her to protect his legacy. But he left her here to deal with 3 children and family and explain that to their children and try to step in and fulfill both roles. You know, and that's where I want to be really sensitive, because again, when you're at the brink of wanting to unalive yourself, clearly your mental state is not where you would want it to be. Because I don't think, I'm not going to say anyone, but a lot of times people are in so much pain that they can't bear it, which is why they unalive themselves. So, like I said, so I was wondering, did he exhaust all options? Trying to get therapy to get through this stuff, not just the journaling. Because sometimes, and especially I know, in Black families, we're taught not to see therapists. It's taboo. Write it down, say a prayer, go to God. All of that is good. Yes, write down your feelings. Yes, get on your knees and lay prostrate if you want. And then get up and find someone who is qualified, a qualified therapist. And I wish that stigma would just go away. We need to continue to speak on it to hopefully eradicate the stigma, because it happens in Black households and in churches as well. They think, oh, you just pray and take a bath. And then after you get out of the bath and after you pray, then go see someone. But so I wonder if he didn't exhaust those options and just took his own life, which when you're in that mental state, that's very possible. But again, I just go back to she's here now dealing with the aftermath. People were talking about she's just doing it for a buck. She does have to take care of her children. Life insurance doesn't pay out for unaliving, I believe, right? And please understand, I'm not saying this to okay what she's doing, because like I said, I'm also looking at this like, dang, you really had to put all of that out there about him? You really want your children to know this? But at the end of the day, if these things are true, then that's what it is. And so my question is, does she have a right to speak about her life with him? Now, if she's saying something she's finding out about him she didn't know, then that wasn't her experience with him. Unless she's trying to say, he acted these ways, I could never figure out why. And now I found these things and I'm thinking this is what contributed to his behavior, right? Because if there were things about him she didn't know, then that wouldn't be her experience with him. So I don't know. And this is why there's a part of me that's like, she shouldn't have done it, because now you have all these conversations surrounding this. But then there is a part of me that's like, well, if she did it, if it helps someone, if it helps save a life, it's worth it. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. So many mixed emotions. There are a lot of people, though, that are speaking about her that knew him and her that have the same story about her. Her being a narcissist, her just wanting attention, her always wanting to be the center spotlight, her using Twitch to bring him, come up. One even said basically her fetish for black, she was a white woman. I'm paraphrasing, but basically she was a white woman with a fetish for this black man, and that he had went through the same thing with a white woman. This is messy. This has opened up a lot. I can't imagine what his mom is feeling. All around, at the end of the day, he's gone, and it's still just such a sad thing. But also a PSA to make sure you check on your people, check on your friends, even the strong ones, your family, you know, because you just never know. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't want to say an insensitive or wrong thing. Um, that's why I'm phrasing it like questions, because I just want to be honest in the different thoughts that were running through my mind. Because I had a lot of different thoughts. Again, my initial reaction was like, what? Then it was like, but she's here to left here to deal with the aftermath. She has to take care of her children. So if she's writing a book and giving interviews and getting paid, wouldn't that be the money used to take care of her children because she didn't get insurance money? But she's come out and said that the earnings are going towards the foundation she started in his name. So you don't know. For those of you that were opposed to her writing a book and making money, if you found out that it was true that all of the earnings were going to a foundation she started in his honor and to preserve his legacy, would that change how you felt? Would that make you see it differently? If you found out, say, a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, that this book saved lives, helped people recognize signs, would you feel differently if initially you felt that she shouldn't have? I did hear that she was going to be, I think she's going to be sharing some pages from his journal in the book. I think that is where it gets. It's one thing to recount the stories, but I feel like it's such a vulnerable, like, and I know it may sound crazy because her sharing stories about him is letting the public see him in a different light. But I think that's intimate. Like, to me, if somebody takes a picture of you when you were asleep, and let's just say they blasted it for all the world to see, I think that's such an intimate like thing. Like, this is me vulnerable in sleep. Like, my family takes pictures of me when I fall asleep all the time because I could fall asleep anywhere. We share them in our family group chat. That's different. But to post it for the world to see might be like, especially without saying anything to me. So I think sharing his writings, and I know, again, this sounds crazy, but you're looking at his handwriting, the pen he used, the journal. I just think it's so, like, I don't know. I don't know. I just hope that his children grow up surrounded by people that truly love him. And if his family is not being able to see him, I hope that they are. Like I said earlier in the video, I think there was someone that came out and said they're just not being able to see them. And I hope that the children can still flourish outside of this. And if she is being sinister and malicious and lying in all of her dealings when it comes to this, I hope she gets exposed. Again, there's a lot of people coming out feeling the same exact way as his family when it comes to her. So it's like, if all of them are on the same page, it might be you, Allison. I don't know. It's such sad. And it's like reliving his death all over again, you know? So y'all let me know what y'all think. If there's anyone out there debating on whether or not they want to go see a therapist, you feel like it's taboo, you feel like it says you're weak, it's actually a sign of strength when you recognize that you need help and go and get it. So please don't let any stigmas or what your family or friends or church family or whomever, whatever you believe, don't let that stop you from getting the help you need. You know, I tell people, specifically, I've said to Christians before, when they talk about, you know, just pray about it. It's a spirit. If you have an asthma attack, just pray about it. Don't get that pump that you keep next to your nightstand. Oh, you have allergies? Pray about them. Don't take the medicine that was prescribed for you. If you were in an accident and needed surgery, you would pray about it and then go into this surgery. Why isn't it the same thing when it comes to your brain and your thoughts? If there's something going on, you go see a person that could help you. So don't let anybody shame you into thinking that therapy is not okay. If you believe in God and you believe God gave people the ability to come up with medicines and things to help you, he also gave people the ability to help you with your brain, which is another part of your body. Don't let anybody shame you. All right, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I, again, tried to handle that with sensitivity. So I hope that I did not offend anybody. I just wanted to be honest with y'all about the different thoughts and feelings that I was having surrounding all this, which going back to when you put something out there like this, you then leave yourself open, Allison, you then leave yourself open to these conversations. I hope everybody involved gets the healing they need. I know it has to be hurtful for his family and friends and all this to be coming out. They may not have known about it, or if they did, it's still like, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about this. And what else did we talk about, y'all, at the top of this? And let me know what y'all think about Sonny Hostin. You better hope he's innocent, girl, or he could be going to jail. Love y'all so much. I'll talk to you later. See ya.